And it's going to be last picked with a Thresh for Bekla. We know he loves this champion. And it's going to be round up all together with the Vayne. So the R5 for Vins in this game. Vayne, really, really good here. Obviously, does really, really well into those 3 tanks looking at him, but I think might have a little bit of trouble in this game with the Jinx and the Veigar cages and the Jarvan ult as well. As we get straight into game, finally. I think both teams looking to set up a 5-point, nothing too interesting, nothing crazy. I will have to fix something quickly, if you bear with me.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
We're gonna have to fix it for next game. But Jenna, utilizing these Q taps, not getting the Veigar stacks early, but walking up just for the Comet Scorch procs and then walking back. As we said, the Veigar is going to struggle a little bit into this Aurelion Soul in the early stages of the game, and the later stages of the game too as well. I think probably the goal of this pick, I imagine, was for the cage later on, to make it a little bit harder for him to just W straight into the middle of your team. I will lower the game volume slightly, because it's been a little while since I did this. Make it a little bit easier to hear, hopefully. I probably should know this, but I don't actually know off the top of my head if Veigar Cage grants stacks on the Phenomenal Evil passive. I think both junglers looking towards a full clear obviously hikes. Trying to make sure that his mid laner is okay, being the focal point of his team. Jarvan finishing his path towards top side ever so slightly faster than the Zinza, excuse me. Granny Spider does get caught by that hook, but Time Gear buying him a little bit of space to stay alive. Does not have to worry about that. Jenna getting a huge trade onto Eclipse here. He's going to go straight and W on top of him, and this could be a solo kill. Eclipse having to flash away from an Aurelion Soul at level 4. When you're playing with the Zinzao, it's not what you want to have to be burning so early in the game. Just as so many people do, disrespecting that early Aurelion Soul pressure that he can exert. Radvar is here. Not going to get anything done. Riftmark just about has the wave in a state where he doesn't have to worry about it. Obviously this Vayne a little bit stronger early game than the Jinx. Obviously quite decently higher poke output as well with that Milio burn passive as well. It can be really, really oppressive if he wants it to be. Riftmark trying to get this wave fully in under tower. Davis running very, very low on mana. Both top players running very low on mana here. Davis is going to get this wave into a good spot. Hopefully try and delay this orange scaling as much as he can. Obviously once he starts getting items onto his teammates, thousands of gold worth of stats just for existing. Anything he can use to slow that down will worth dividends later. First dragon comes up. Nothing much really happening for either team so far. Time Gear popping the ghost. Xin Zhao is here. Becca's going to have to use that flash to get away. Misses the flay. Junna as well having to flash away from Gardevoir in the mid lane. But the Flagon Drag, excuse me, coming in. And Junna going to be able to get away with his life. Comet not quite landing, but W was enough to avoid the damage to get over that wall. Fortunately, Veigar not quite hitting that level 6 spike yet to be able to execute. Both teams getting away with one flash burned each. Aurelion Sol TPing back to lane has a much bigger item advantage over the Veigar. A much better base than Clips got off in the first few minutes. This blasting one and the Dark Seal, you can't disrespect Acel once he gets these items. Riftmark hits level 6 before Davis and might look for something big here. A lot of damage coming out from those brittle procs. Davis still doesn't have ult available. Riftmark still heavy trading. Davis finally does get that level 6. The hook gonna land onto Time Gear, but he's too far gone for it to mean anything. Gardevoir starting off these grubs on the top side, obviously, with the recent buffs. A lot stronger than they were previously. Gets all 3 of them. Harvey's Angels might have to look towards them on the second spawn to try and get something out of it. For now, just trading it for that first, I believe that's a Chemtech Soul off the top of my screen. It's a Hextech Soul, sorry. Chemtech Dragon, or Hextech Dragon, excuse me, not Soul. I am all over the place. One objective each, and I think... I don't know how much of a difference it's made, but you might be happier with the grubs at this point in the game, especially since obviously playing around the Cassante in the early game is a little bit easier than the Ornn. Time Gear getting a lot of damage out here. The Flagon Drag not quite able to catch out Junna on the Acel. Gardevoir paying a lot of attention to this mid lane, trying to delay the inevitable Aurelion Sol as long as he can. Gardevoir looking towards Hike's topside jungle here. Don't know how strong the Jarvan will be in regard to the Xin Zhao at this point in the game, but it's a little bit of an advantage for Xin Zhao. He's going to run straight in. I think the buff was collected by Gardevoir. He's going to try and get out. The Flagon Drag does get him over the wall. Aurelion Sol is able to move here. Eclipse might be caught out. The flash forward from Hikes. Eclipse. I think he's going to fall here. The knockup is going to come in. Ult used onto Junna, but he's going to get away with a little bit of HP. Hikes is going to go in. The Cataclysm is enough to take down Junna. But Hikes might be able to pick up a second kill in return. He's going to value his life. Davis making that early rotation after pushing that wave in and getting Riftmark to back. So a 1-for-1 for the both jungles being the recipients of those kills. And Time Gear is going to flash straight over those Jinx traps. I don't think he quite has the damage yet. Granny Swan is going to get caught out by the hook here. Has to flash over the flay, and it might be enough for Vins to pick up the kill onto Bekla there. Maybe a little bit of an overcommit, but Scott returns the kill. And he's going to run straight out with his life. A 1-for-1 for the ADCs in the bot lane here. I thought Time Gear might have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew there. Bekla returning the favor, maybe taking a little bit too much as well. Dragging himself in with that Q. But I think I'd rather the Jinx have the kills early than the Vayne if I'm HMX. If they can find a way to keep the Aurelion and the Xin Zhao off the Jinx, it's going to be a pivotal unit on their team later on in the game. More noodle slapping in top lane. Granny Spanner might get caught out here. Eclipse is jumping straight in. The cage is perfect, blocking out both Hikes and Junna, and they're going to have to retreat with their lives. And this Aurelion is really, really scary. Making any mistake around this mid lane. And the game feels so difficult. Almost has that Reliance finished. The Rod of Aegis first for the Veigar. It's been a long time since I was a Veigar player. I don't actually know what's good in him or not. I would have assumed Ludens, but Roy doesn't seem bad either. Junna and Hikes, as we've seen so many times this season, going to catch Gardevoir out here. He does manage to get the flag away. Junna, not sure if he had W available there. Cassante is coming down. He might find himself in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to get caught out by the Flag and Drag and the Cassante ultimate. He's going to try and flash away, but it's not going to be enough. And despite that trap they had set up, very, very well played from Gardevoir to get out of it, they didn't have the top lane prio that they needed for that kind of play. And it's a kill going over to Veigar. The stakes now completely even in mid lane. Time Gear. I get so much damage with this Milio burn. No particularly big leads building up anywhere on any side of the map. Only 400 gold between the teams now. And the hook, he does get caught out. It's a big Milio ulti, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Gardevoir is here, does have the Cataclysm available, and Time Gear is most definitely dead here, but whether Granny Star can get caught out, Scott's going to flash straight in, and he's going to trade 1 for 1. I don't know if that was worth it, maybe overestimating his damage ever so slightly. And the flash along with the 1 for 1 trade is less than ideal, given what they wanted around that side of the map at the time. Hikes and Granny Spanner are going to catch out Bekla here. The TP is going to come in from Orin as well. And I think this is going to be a big winning play here for Harvey's Angels. Gardevoir is going to Cataclysm straight onto Granny Spanner to take the 1 for 1. They're out of resources here. This is a big fight for HMX. Aurelion Sol does manage to catch Eclipse out on the side of this fight, and he's going to fall to the Xin Zhao. And it's looking a lot better for Harvey's Angels here. Does manage to knock Hikes away, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. The Aurelion Soul flight just isn't long enough to be able to fully finish off Gardevoir here. No resets coming in for Jinx. Time Gear on the Vayne, pop the Ghost. And no other casualties in the end other than Veigar. This Rylai's becoming a problem on Junna now. HMX have all 4 of their teammates on this side of the map. Veigar pathing down as well. Riffar's going to get caught by the hook, and it's a kill for this Jinx, and it's 2 kills for the Jinx, and Time Gear's going to fall as well. And Harmonix in this early game. A little bit of an overstep from Harvey's Angels was all it took. A stray hook catching out Riffmark. And all of a sudden, you have a 4-1 Jinx. Finished Kraken, hasn't even based yet. Sitting on about 1,300 gold. The BF sword waiting for her in base. A dragon as well. And HMX, I think as we slowly finish the laning phase, coming out with a bit of a lead. Also, if we do get a stack check onto the Aurelion Soul here, if I don't click the wrong button 3 times. 134, excuse me, at 14. It's about average, maybe slightly below what you might want. At about 15 minutes, you're usually aiming for about 150. But yeah, he is doing fine. The Jinx, however, is where the problem is going to lie. And it's a big TP coming down here. This is Eclipse behind Harvey's Angels bot lane. They're going to get the 1-for-1 trade. It's a big shutdown going on to Vins. And if you take this teleport that was committed, The 600 gold kill onto the Jinx, it's not worth it all. It's not what you want if you are Harmonix. As well, losing this Rift Herald on the top side too. Obviously Acel, once he gets 1-2 items, can absolutely melt objectives. The Hollow Radiance completed now for Dabus. Pretty much everyone in the game finishing up that first item except for Hikes and Riftmark. Having a look at the gold in each lane again, and you can see this bot lane that we once was ahead a few minutes ago is now almost completely even. It's actually a pretty good goal difference in the support. Speaking of which, Granny Spanner, not quite enough to die, but Bekla, these hooks are landing. And pretty much every lane is even except for the 2 600 gold differences in jungle and support. Which, I mean, neither of those champs really care about having a big gold lead. Either Thresh especially, Jarvan not so much, but still you'd rather have your gold on the Veigar or the Jinx, I imagine. And Jenna opting for the Archangels. Very late tier though. Map entering a little bit of a null state. Hikes. Maybe looking for something bot lane here. A lot of vision control on that bottom side of the map for Harvey's Angels. Yes, Aurelion soul damage starting to become a problem. So difficult to get away from once he gets that realized. Granny Spanner, don't think you quite have it in you to be able to clear that ward. Gardevoir is waiting here. Actually for a little bit of an overcommit from the Harvey's Angels bot lane. Veigar damage. Not quite hitting yet, but slowly but surely getting there. As this dragon comes up, Harvey's Angels taking a quick base. The Jarvan, after all those bans, proving so pivotal, almost 100% KP in this game.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
The Chemtech Dragon already up, and Harvey's Angels are first there. HMX not ready to give this one up without a fight though. They do have the Zorn down here. Aurelion Soul following a little bit behind. He's going to TP down. I think he does have that Sky's Descent available. Hike's going to get caught out by the Veigar cage. And oh, it's a big Aurelion Soul ulti. It's going to catch out Gardevoir. He's just going to get out with his life. Hike's flashing straight after him. Eclipse manages to save his jungler's life. The first casualty of the fight is going to be Bekla. And the Zinza is going to fall. No jungler available for this objective for Harvey's Angels. And Aurelion Soul might just not have enough damage for Eclipse here. He's going to flash over the wall. It's going to be 2 kills onto this Aurelion. Flying straight forward towards Gwen Skatani. But Gardevoir is here. Maybe A little bit too much for Junna. A little bit of an overcommit. And this dragon, not in any danger. It's going to go over to Harvey's Angels. This game remains so close. Artabar just managing to get out with his life after being caught by the Sky's Descend. Obviously, once he gets the Flag and Dart going, it's not possible to stop it. And Time Game might get caught out here by the Cassante. He's going to run straight on top of the Jinx, and the DPS is just too much for her. They're going to trade the 1-for-1, but the kill's going over to Riftmark. And he's not going to be able to get out with his life here, I think. Hikes. He will, actually, in the end. Just buying him enough space to get out. But obviously the Vayne just does more damage than the Jinx to one person at the moment. I mean, the champ design itself will just do more damage to one person, but it's not the first time this game we've seen the 1-for-1 trade. Gonna have to excuse the whisper I just received. Apologies. I normally turn chat off, but a few people were asking me to keep it on for the last UNL stream, so you're gonna have to put up with it. Game is going to be paused. Don't exactly know what's going on. I believe there was something in chat that I missed because I haven't been reading. Yeah, back into this game. Gonna get that extra pause for the replay system to catch up. Jinx now. Finishing 2 items. Coming very close to the third. Hoping for... I don't actually know what that is because I don't know anything about ADC items this season, but maybe a Rudan's, maybe Rapid Fire. I don't think it can be Rapid Fire because I think Rapid Fire is Zeke's Kerche. Could be PD as well. I don't know. A quick stack check. Stack check on the Aurelion Soul. Sitting at 265, so again, about on schedule, maybe a little bit ahead. Gardevoir gonna catch hikes out in his bot side jungle here. Steel caps preventing any kind of damage whatsoever. As Granny Spanner kindly pointed out in chat. About 50 seconds on this dragon. Baron is up as well. Aurelion Soul still top lane. Probably sitting here to catch waves. We'll use that TP to go down when it's up, when it's fully up. Getting a quick base in first. Might have a finished lost chapter or something. Does indeed. Riftmark. He's going to get caught out alone in the spot lane in absolutely no man's land. He has no reason to be in that brush. And he's going to use his flash as well. But if you look at the top side of the map, they're posturing towards Baron. Riftmark maybe was in fact onto something. And this is going to be a free Baron for Harvey's Angels. I was so wrong. The oldest trick in the book is working. But HMX are here. Gardevoir is here. The Skies Ascend's going to come down. The Baron, it's 1 HP. It's gone over to Harvey's Angels. And they're going to try and take the fight as well. The Ornold's going to come in. Not Riftmark choosing not to recast it. Because knockups are overrated. Gardevoir picking up the Vayne kill on the backside of this fight. Dabis jumping straight onto Jonah on this Aurelion Soul. I don't think they're going to have enough to save him. Doesn't actually get the flash over the wall. Gardevoir is back in straight into this fight. Jonah's got the kill onto Dabis. And it's an absolute disaster for Harmonix. It's all gone wrong. The smite left the Baron at 86 health. And all of a sudden, this game swinging so strongly in favour of Harmonix. Junna not finished yet, running straight into this mid lane. Slowing down to not get caught by the hook. Gwenskatani taking 2/3 of his health. And with that, Radiant Leandries and 3 dragons on the board. Harvey's Angels well on their way to a victory in game 1. And 1 step closer to the next round of playoffs. The Shurelias on the Veigar. Very supportive and safe build. Like, might have liked to see the Rabadons earlier, but too sure. Jinx now does have those 3 completed items though. Davis probably best if he gets away here. Hikes. Getting absolutely nothing done, but needs to be around his Aurelion Soul. Granny Spanner taking a little bit too many steps forward. No objectives or anything to get around the map for this, but still. Don't want to be getting caught out so easily. Jinx does have that last whisper finish, obviously having a really difficult time trying to break through this Ornn. That Aurelion Soul E is absolutely massive. The TP coming down from Rift Markets, flying in from Judda. The Sky's Descent's going to come out. It's not going to fully land on anyone, but the slow might be enough to get something out of this fight. The train is coming, and HMX are falling like flies. Davis is going to be the newest victim. The Vagar Cage might be enough to get him out, in fact. He's going to get a return kill as well. Eclipse. They're really clutch. Cage coming out there in this fight. Gardevoir just about able to escape with his life. As I said, that Eclipse might find himself in a little bit of trouble here. The Leandries, the Aurelion Soul just gets enough of that flight to get in, but the third tower shot is going to be Zonya's. And he's going to survive, but the Cataclysm comes in, he flashes out of it. And yet another fight going so heavily in favor of Harvey's Angels. Another fight coming out here. Bekla's going to get caught. This Vayne DPS is just too much. Bekla going to be the first one to fall. Flashes straight towards Gwen's Katani. Going to be able to use that Blast Cone to just about escape. But Davis next on the chopping block. Hikes. Trying so hard to get through this armor. Vayne fortunately doesn't quite care about armor. And this game looks really difficult to lose now from Harvey's Angels' perspective. Setting their sights now on the Baron, have that soul finished. And Juna picking up another kill. Might be something big in this fight here for HMX. All of them standing straight in the middle of that Aurelion Soul. Ian Jinx is going to flash forward here. Time Gear. Going to be able to get a return kill potentially, but no. It's 2 kills for Jinx, and there might still be life in this game. Riftmark deciding that the fight was overrated continues to push bot lane. And at 33 minutes, the gold lead is now almost completely even, but the obvious problem of the soul still waiting. Riftmark, I think, Dab is slowly but surely going to be able to whittle down this Ornn. But they are just not dealing any damage to each other. The all-out comes in. Riftmark manages to stop the displacement with his W, but it's not going to be enough. The all-out damage is such a crazy increase. HMX is going to get this tower. And all of a sudden, the 8-4 Jinx sitting on 3,000 gold. This game is wide open. Aurelion Sol, such a monster when it comes to anti-siege. So difficult to get through this Aurelion Sol's E. LDR now fully finished this Jinx. Should have a pretty easy time getting through the Ornn now. If we get one last stack check on this Aurelion Sol. 461. Absolute nightmare to deal with. Getting another check on Jinx as well. Doesn't actually have the Anathemas on her. I believe it's probably the Vhagar then. Yeah, he does, and he's just going to stack armor. I see. I mean, I know what Riftmark is trying to do. But I don't even feel like it's really worth it. I feel like he could have just gone for another armor item instead of the Anathemas and probably would have been higher value. Because the Vhagar's not going to do any damage to him anyway, but not really sure. And the big engage here coming in from Riftmark. It's a huge cataclysm, and this Disguised Descent is absolutely massive. There's no way Harvey's Angels lose the fight from this position. HMX are running for their lives. Jinx is going to fall, and this is going to signal the end of what has been a really good game. And the Aurelian Soul is what's proving, to be the force in this game. The Elder is up, but they don't care. They're going straight for this end. And HMX now with an uphill battle. Game 1 is going to go over to HMX, or to Harvey's Angels, excuse me. If I don't fuck up for 5 seconds on stream. It's gonna be the Nico. This is interesting. I mean, pretty much the same draft as last game from both teams. Obviously a little bit different in the jungle and mid picks, but stylistically, they are comparable to what they were playing in the previous game. So, could end up having a very, very similar turnout. But the big difference is there is no Aurelian Soul this time. No infinite scaling threat. Into game fully, finally, for game 2 of Harmonix, Harvey's Angels. Harvey's Angels going into this game with the 1-0 lead. And last game we saw nothing level 1, but HMX deciding this is their time. They're going to go for this invade. Time Gear is going to get spotted out. He flashes in and catches him. And Time Gear is going to fall level 1 here. Not burning that flash, but a flash for a kill on Echo level 1. I think you'll take that if you're Gardevoir. He gets that Echo snowballing going. Hike's letting us know that his ADC was in fact tapped out. I think Vin's typically spends most of his time tapped out IRL anyway, so can be easy to catch with these invades. But a nice little advantage for Harmonix going into this early game. Maybe you would have preferred the kill on the Jinx, I'm not too sure, but Echo definitely either her or Jinx the biggest beneficiaries of that. The Dark Seal start for this Echo. Could be another really, really big game here from Gardevoir. Had a really, really good game in the first game. I think as well, Vigor might have a slightly easier time into the Nico, but it's been so long since I've seen either of these champions, I have no idea what to think of them. To the best of my knowledge, Nico is really, really good. Vin's caught out by another hook. God, I know I said it last game a few times, but this Milio burn just does so much damage. Some wet noodle snapping, and more than that going all over the map. Oh. Level 3. A little before HMI spotting in here for Time Gear. Not going to get anything out of that. Nico proving to be a problem in this early game. So much damage. Quite vocal about how much I dislike Nico's champion design. Babas making an early trip towards the topside river to help take this Scuttle Crab, this jungler. trading the top and bot scuttle, but no fight coming out here in the bot lane. The Flay, not quite enough to drag Zeri into tower range, however. Granny Spanner trying to get more vision into that bot lane try. Davis missing that cannon. Wave is not good for Eclipse here. Jenna might have enough damage to just finish off Eclipse here. He does! Burns the flash and it's the solo kill for Jenna in this mid lane. This Nico, just such a nightmare to lane against. Other than that kill, however, no particularly big leads emerging in any lane in the first 5 minutes. The early alternator for the Nico, her damage gonna go up so much. This Ornn damage is absolutely ridiculous in the early game. Harvey's Angels again trading, taking this bot lane, this Drake on the bot side of the map, while Gardevoir takes those grubs, excuse me. Not if Riftmark has something to say about it, however. Gonna go in solo onto this Echo. Nice knock with the E, doing so much damage. Gardevoir is going to have to retreat. The Call of the Forge God is coming out. Well dodged by Gardevoir. Jenna is here as well. This is not a fight. You want Harmonix. The flash comes in and Gardevoir is going to fall. A second kill on the board for Jenna. Eclipse now finds himself in a little bit of trouble with this Xin Zhao. Jenna going to get the scary Cassante away with that Blast Cone. And no trade this early game with those grubs. It's just going to be Dragon just for one grub. Riftmark. Intelligent play just to run down to it and get rid of those. The taking the grubs to themselves now. So you only need 4 now to finish it, so or to get the original grub, but Gardevoir sets his sights on bot lane. Granny Spanner and Time Gear are way too far up with not enough vision. And the stun does come through. I thought the Echo was outside of that. But Granny Spanner is going to fall. The kill's going to go over to Gwen Skatani. Eclipse almost dying for the second time in mid lane. Plate's taking top lane as well. A lot going on all over the map. And once again, the same 3 threats we had last game. The Junna, Gardevoir and Scott showing their faces here in game 2. And Davis manages to pull Riftmark all the way into his tower. Riftmark has to use that flash to get away. Granny Spanner is here to help out his mid laner. God, that Nico passive must be annoying. And the cancel onto the E, but it's not quite enough to put Riftmark in any real danger. Again, just the same noodle stopping top lane we saw last game. Eclipse finds himself in trouble again. Jenna, I don't think quite has the damage to finish this one off. Landing every skill shot. Beckley with a huge hook on Tiger as he goes over the wall. The ult is not going to be enough. Tiger has to flash away in retaliation. Hikes is here as well, though. The flash forward is not enough. He's not going to be able to catch Gwen Skatani. And Scott gets away despite Hike's best efforts. Little bit of a misplay. Jumping over the wall. Beckley saw that coming a mile away. Eclipse is going to fall. It's 3 kills for Junna now. I don't think Echo has the damage to finish this one off. Hikes is here. The flash coming in as well. The Xin Zhao ult is there. But Echo's going to pick up that kill. And the ulti is enough. I don't think he quite has the damage for this though. If the shield gets down in time. Not quite. Hikes going to try to escape with his life here. Davis is here, however. The flay backwards. Don't think he's going to be able to dodge a hook from this close range. He will. I stand corrected. And Granny Spanner is here to get him out safely. I think probably should have thrown the hook a little bit earlier. Nico making her way down into this river as a minion. Gonna set up that second Drake. Well, the gold maybe even. In terms of objectives, it's looking a little bit bleak for Harmonix in this early game. Well, I do think they probably have the scaling advantage to an extent. Still gonna be tough. Gardevoir sets his sights on the mid lane. Jonah with another ult coming out here. He's gonna get caught in that stun, but Granny Spanner is here with that Millia ulti to get him out, and Eclipse most definitely going to fall here. Gardevoir might be next. Just has enough HP to get out. Davis is here, however, stops the Oran dash away, trying to drag him into tower, but doesn't quite have enough. But does have the damage to just finish him off himself. Bekla is here as well. Jonas still sitting in his mid brush, picks up the kill to Gardevoir. It's really, really well played from Harvey's Angels. That's a really, really big fight. The Jinx ulti not quite enough to finish anyone off. Gonna try and get something onto Jenna here. Does manage to pick up the kill to Hikes, and that's gonna give Jinx the reset. And now, this Jinx becoming a real issue for Harvey's Angels. 3-0-1. Same as we saw last game, getting very, very far ahead in this early game. We get a stack check on the Dark Harvest, maybe, on the Echo. Sitting at 4 at the moment. Setting his sights on another in the spot lane. So much damage already coming out from this Echo. And one more passive should do it. One more auto, excuse me, should do it. Timing Gear gets caught out again. Not the start he would have wanted to this game at all. Granny Spanner has the moves to dodge the hook, but not the traps. Gwen Skatani, he's not going to be able to get the last auto. It's a huge shutdown for Zeri. A bit of BM in chat as well. Bekla is going to fight it with the hook. It's a great dodge onto the Nico as well. Nico is going to come in. Gardevoir sets his sights straight onto Granny Spanner. And the smug laugh in chat is short-lived as they trade 2 for 2. A total of 3 for 2 if you include the Jinx death in favor of Harvey's Angels. Junna not finished yet, however. This tower on 1 HP. Jumping at clips and does manage to land the E. And another kill for Junna. 7, 2, and 3 at 15 minutes. Nico is a force to be reckoned with. All of a sudden, starting to feel like Harmonix season might be cut short. Obviously, going out on a game where you can't play your full roster, especially when you're missing out on Widley, it's less than ideal, for sure. Making the sacrifice to be able to play their game in a human time might cost them, but not quite there yet. This game, despite the fact they didn't win the first game, this one looks even worse, I would say. But obviously the Nico as a champion, I think, is potentially a little bit less threat than the Aurelion, but still has 7 kills, still finishing off that death cap. Clips is still having an absolute nightmare trying to play into it. Hikes almost gets caught out, or almost catches out Gardevoir, excuse me. HMX, all 5 people on this one part of the map losing waves top lane. TP's gonna come in preparation for this dragon. Harvey's Angel's having a difficult time getting into the river. This comp so fiercely relying on the Ornn and Nico combos. Call the Forge God is up and is available. Harvey's Angel's tanking the dragon for now. A lot of damage onto Cassante there. With that, not the Pop Blossom, excuse me. The Q. Gardevoir is going to go in. Doesn't quite get in range of the stun, but the slow is pretty big. Maybe a little bit early from the call of the Forge God, and HMX have a chance to go back in here. Davis is going to get caught out by that knockup, but the Nico ult is here, and Davis manages to pull it away from his team. Superbly played by the Harmonix top laner. It's going to be secured by Harmonix as well. Time Gear getting very, very low here. Junna very low in the back of this fight as well. This looks really, really good for Harmonix. Davis just manages to escape with his life, and I think both teams saying no to the flip. And what looked like it could have gone so badly for Harvey's Angels has been kept as a minor inconvenience, if anything. The Pop Blossom looked like it could have been quite dangerous there, but Dabis managing to use that all out to pull it away from his team. Don't think there was any casualties at all at any point in that fight. I think the call of the Forge God from Riftmark was way too early. Just needed to wait for a better time. Harvey's Angels though setting their sights on this Rift Herald. Granny Spanner is here. Not sure exactly what his goal is. Definitely don't have the damage between them to get through this Cassante. Losing towers on the bot side of the map for this room. HMX looking for something, but all 5 members of Harvey's Angels on the top side of the map, and they're gonna just lose the mid tower for it here almost. But it might not be in complete vain as they find themselves in a really, really good position here. Granny Spanner, the flash matched with the blink of Echo, and the W is just able to keep him alive. Harvey's Angels getting very, very lucky here. Multiple occasions this game. Riftmark has the call, but not quite gonna get anything from this fight, excuse me. Rabadon's finished now for Nico. What else do we have? 2 items on Echo, the Rocket Belt Lichbane. 2 items on Jinx is the big one. The Shiv Runans as well for Zeri. Baron now up. Next dragon is in. I'm just gonna turn it on because I can't be bothered to hide it on stream, to be perfectly honest. Oh, the minimap is too big anyway, so it doesn't even matter. What can you do? In fact, I can just do this quickly. Very professionally made stream, I know. There you go. You can now see objective timers. Enjoy. Only the highest level of quality here on UNL. Dragging up in about 45 seconds. Riftmark gonna have to use that E to get away, but I think HMX, their plan is for the tower necessarily, not necessarily the Ornn. Unless of course he's coming with it as a package deal, in which case I'll take it, but maybe a little bit of a mistake here. As the Herald's gonna be put down in mid lane. Giving up this tier 2. It's a lot of space just in trade for that tier 1 top. Echo W coming. They're gonna have enough damage, and Gardevoir finds himself in a little bit of trouble. The stun from the Herald is enough in the end, and I think this third Drake is pretty much gone, but HMX, Harvey's Angels, sorry, aren't finished yet. Davis is gonna get caught here. And the second casualty of this fight drags the Zeri all the way back to his team, but it's not gonna matter. Xin Zhao is absolutely running it into this HMX team. They're able to get a kill on that. Nico in return. It's a big shutdown onto Veigar. There might be something in this for HMX. The Super Mega Death Rocket just going wide. They want this fight. Despite the fact Hikes is still alive. Riftmark is here too. Granny Span are still alive, but the Zeri is the one that will cause them the problems. Very, very low on HP though, so he's going to have to base. And Riftmark's going to get caught by the hook. There's just no reason he needs to be standing here. And all of a sudden, your engage is gone. And the fight, excuse me, swings back in favor of HMX. On a number of occasions in this series so far, Riftmark finding himself in places he shouldn't be. Oh. Some shouts for the check of his PayPal in chat. Granny Spanner has to use that flash to get away, and against this Echo, it's scary not having that spell available. Harvey's Angels looking towards Baron, all going to be revealed by that new Void Scuttle introduced as part of the Season 14 shenanigans. Davis is caught in no man's land, but due to fear of other teammates being there, Harvey's Angels choose not to take that one. This Echo, constantly a looming threat to this Harvey's Angels team. But I think your real worry this game has to be the Jinx. She is very, very strong. Needs about 150 gold to finish off that Lord Dominic's. Looking for anything she can get on the map. Chana almost getting caught out in the spot lane. Big first shot proc onto the Veigar there. Neither team quite ready to attempt this Baron yet. HMX setting their sights on it. They know this Nico is bot lane. TP used to get a bit closer, but it might be done before they can do anything. Granny Spanner trying to get some vision if they can see how low it is, and HMX are just going to take this for completely free. The Call of the Forge God going to hit 4 people. It's a big flash here with the Pop Blossom from Chuna, and he's going to fall immediately, and the fight is going in complete favour of Harvey's Angels despite the Baron take. And despite the earlier mistake, a really, really good engage here from Riftmark. Finding a way to even out what was a pretty drastic mistake from Harvey's Angels. They're going to get the in-hit for it as well. Not going to look for anything else. And one point that I seem to be raising about this season constantly is that I think Baron does too much damage, and I think it's too risky for the winning team to try and take. It's too much of a flip. Because winning fights with the effects that the Baron has on you and the damage it deals is just so difficult. HMX still with this Baron buff. Setting their sights on trying to get something done mid lane. And the Veigar ulti is enough to finish off Vince. And Harvey's Angels find themselves in a bit of a pickle under this mid lane inhibitor tower. Veigar damage stacking up so much. Zinzao is going to get caught out by the hook, but that's so much healing. The Call of the Forge God is absolutely massive from Riftmark. But it's not going to be enough to stop this HMX push. They're going to get away with what they came for. Both mid inhibs for both teams down now. Davis, unfortunately, going to be the sacrifice for such. Both teams' attention turned towards this Baron, but it is a 4v5. HMX don't have the HP bars to be dealing with this. 4 Ocean Dragons and a Soul, though, would be huge for them. They're just going to let this one go. Probably the sensible decision, I think. Maybe if Dabas had gotten out with his life, but not now. Riftmark all on his own in this top lane. Nothing up on the map anywhere. Mid and bot. Mid just about pushed out, but bot is in. You just can't be here. It's going to take them a minute, but you need to be more aware of potential threats around the map, but don't think Harvey's Angels will be able to find anything in response. Four items now in the Shinx. Jonah very nearly gets caught out by that death sentence. Jonah having to use that flash defensively, excuse me, to get away. That's a big cooldown to be gone, though. These flash pop blossoms proving a problem over the course of this game. The replay is paused. I don't think we're going to get it back. This has happened before. I'll attempt some live maintenance, but I won't have to because it has come back and it is fixed, and we're going to continue on with this fight. The Pop Blossom is going to connect with nobody. The Call of the Forge God might not be enough. This is a big fight here for HMX. Time Gear stacking up those Zerials, stacking up the Zerials on the side of this fight. Only a 1-for-0 at the moment. Riftmark for some reason decides to walk back in. And HMX turn their attention to this mid wave. I'm not sure what Riftmark's trying to do here. But they set their sights back towards this Baron, and the Pop Blossom, a mistake from Junna, gives the HMX side a way back into this game. I think, in fairness, Harvey's Angels have been very, very lucky at points in this game. I think it's only a matter of time until it ran out eventually, but maybe could have gotten a little bit more out of that. Replay pauses for the second time in about 10 seconds. And here we are. Game will continue right here from where it left off. And Gardevoir, for I think the 4th time I've seen this, taken very, very low by that Nico. Harvey's Angels setting up inside the spot side brush. Gardevoir almost walking into that Nico stun. Both teams poised for a fight here. And it's a big Pop Blossom. Knocks up 3 people. It's a big shutdown onto Vagar, but Jinx is completely undamaged at the back of this fight. Gardevoir just about manages to stay alive using the ult and the flash as well. Granny Sweater can't get the kill from over the wall. It's a big fight here for Harvey's Angels, and Jinx is going to fall. But so are the rest of her team, and Harvey's Angels find a foot back into this game as they pick up that Ocean Soul. Gardevoir focusing his attention on that mid lane inhibitor, accepting the fact that this Drake is gone. Vin sprinting all the way down mid to get to this HMX inhibitor. HMX get a pick, looks like a Jinx auto take Jin hits. Yeah, actually did look quite like that, yeah, that's true. Vin's actually opting for a Zonia's on the Zeri. Can't say I've seen that before. But this Jinx is just so strong. But that is an Ocean Soul on a Zeri with a Milio. Harvey's Angels poised and looking for Davis, who's going to find himself in no man's land. And Harvey's Angels are just going to look straight down mid. A lot of resources being committed to this Cassante. And they're just going to start channeling those recalls to stop the push. They're looking straight for the end, but all of Harvey's Angels run straight out of base to protect this. Junna is here. He's going to catch out Gardevoir. Or Eclipse, sorry, not Gardevoir. My mistake. It's So 1 for 0 in favor of Harvey's Angels. No objectives up for that to matter though. Well, Hikes is going to flash straight in onto Davis. I don't know if they quite have the damage for this. The Orn ulti is big. Not going to quite connect with the important targets though. Davis managing to use that lantern to get away, and I think he's just about going to get away with his life here. Harvey's Angels definitely would have preferred a little bit more out of that. But they might look for an end here. I don't think they have what they need for it though. Their Jinx is still alive and has 5 items now. Clearing that wave with just a couple of auto attacks. And the fight's going to engage here. Jonah is the one that gets caught by the hook. The pop goes out. It's a brilliant flash from Gwen Skatani to save himself. And it is a 1 for 2. And this looks like it could signal the end for Harvey's Angels in game 2 here. Gardevoir can't quite get down this area. She's doing so much damage, but the Cassandre says no. Absolutely 1 HP, but she's going to be able to survive. Gwen Skatani is still alive on the back of this fight. Riftmark trying to get away with his life. Gardevoir just about manages to escape with his. Hikes is going to get caught out. This looks like it could finally be the end. 20 seconds on Granny Spanner, 30 on Junna. HMX set their sights on those Nexus turrets. But Time Gear's run into mid lane to clear the wave. What an absolute mess of a game this is. He's clearing it all the way back to base. They're just going to take the inhibitor and be happy with that. They definitely don't have what they need to take this tower here. Oh, maybe they do. It's going to fall instantly. I stand corrected. Gardevoir has to use that ulti to get away. Bekla most definitely not going to fall here, in fact. All 5 members of Harvey's Angels now back up. 1 Nexus turret down. The TP is coming in from, I believe that is Junna. It is. He's going to look for something here. Riftmark is here. The Pop Blossom goes up and comes back down. Jinx is dead. That might be what Harvey's Angels need. Riftmark, the call of the Forge God, is here. Doesn't connect with anyone. Eclipse trying to get away with his life, but that Zeri W does so much damage. I don't know about running into this Veigar though. It's a huge stun. Junna almost falling to that Veigar ulti. This game is so close. An absolute mess. HMX playing with their lives on the verge of their season being over. Harvey's Angels going to use this opportunity to take the Baron for pretty much free, but there is a bigger looming threat at hand, which is the Elder. It's up and Jinx is not alive yet. Now this is where the game will be decided, I think. Jinx trying to find her way into this fight as quickly as she can. HMX are set up on it already, but Harvey's Angels might be too late for it. The dragon is so low already, even without the DPS from Jinx. Hikes is trying to find a way in, but he can't, and the Elder is going to go over to Harmonix. 1 kill onto Eclipse here. It's an absolutely massive Echo Stun, and Jinx is going to go absolutely rampant with this Elder buff. Junna 1 HP on the back of this fight. 3 kills in a row for Gwen Skatani. The 4th. Might we see the Penta? Riftmark is on the bot side. Scott doesn't care. He's playing for one thing only, and it's the Nexus. And this, finally, is when this absolute mess of a game is going to end, hopefully. And that is going to be game 2. With the Silas. Oh, it's going into jungle. Okay. I see. I was going to say, it would take some balls to play Silas into Junna, but Gardevoir opting for it in the jungle. And I don't know, this is some very heavy AP damage considering they're into a Skarner Ornn, but no, we will see. The I think for the first time in the series I prefer Harvey's Angels draft. When we go in. You're welcome to, if you wish, yeah. I'd be happy to have someone else. I've been asking for someone all day. No one came. No worries, guys. I'm gonna push my crying narrative all I want. Thank you very much. Drag him in. Do I actually... Oh, I can't, okay. Hello. Second caster has arrived.
Hello, sorry, I've been busy all day.
Sensational is right. Yeah, so bad to be fair. But we're in now. We're here for game 3, finally.
Ooh.
Hopefully no stream issues this time. Hopefully.
Can I have a stream?
Of course, that would definitely help you be able to cast in real time.
Okay, so what have been the highlights of the series so far? Has there been any incidents, any foes, any like, oh my god, wow, what's happened? How's he done that?
There's been throws for sure. There's been some. There was I think the first game was mainly just a Junna Acel incident where the game just went on too long really, more than anything else. The second game, he actually got very fed early, but obviously because he's playing Nico, it's not quite the same complete monster Acel is, so had a little bit harder time impacting the game as much as he did previously. But no one's having completely insane or really bad series. I think Gwen Scatani and Junna are both having particularly good series, but yeah, we kind of expect that of them at this point anyway, right? So
yeah, we do. I mean, not to big up HA, but they were probably our worst matchup all season.
Yeah,
just because of how they operate.
Yeah, no, I actually think we were the same as you in that regard. A little bit of trading onto Riftmark. That was just had a good series as well, I think, for what he's been given, considering he's come in like off-rolling today as well. Oh yeah, this HMX roster is very heavily substituted. There's no Fab, there's no Wibbly. Scott's moved from jungle to bot. Their ADC has moved from ADC to mid. Their support is also a sub. Their jungler is a sub, and their top laner is their starting support. Gardevoir going to be in a little bit of trouble here. The Skarner E, sorry, not quite catching. It's gonna blocked by the blue buff. He manages to flash away, but obviously the issue with the Silas is so difficult in the very early stages of the game. Junna running out of mana in mid lane.
You know what? I'm a big fan of Dabas's Cassante.
Actually, so am I. I think I'm pretty sure everyone in UNL is a big fan of Dabas and Cassante.
To be honest, he's also a very underrated player as well.
Yeah.
So fair play to him.
Yeah.
Well, nice engagement with Rebecca there.
I think the thing we've seen typically over the course of these games is that Harvey's Angels are prioritizing the first Drake, and HMX have been trading Grubster every time. But Riftmark in the second game in particular was giving Gardevoir some trouble with the Grubs. So last game looked really bad for HMX. I thought it was going to be a 2-0, but came back into that game very nicely.
I'm surprised both objectives aren't being contested because they're spawning a minute after each other now.
Yeah. And Riftmark, he's going to get caught out by that knockback from the Cassante. Has to use that flash to get away. Hikes is here looking towards bot lane, obviously. With Gardevoir showing top. A little bit, have to play a little bit safer than the spot lane.
I'm interested. It's interesting that they allowed Juna to get the Talia through, because that's one of our priority bans from the series we played against them.
Oh really? I see. They've been banning Hui, Azir, Acel since the first game. They've been banning Syndra. I think they banned the second game as well, but I think that was made because it's a really good matchup into Veigar. Because Eclipse has played Veigar in all 3 games, so. Ooh. The Nico looked like it was doing quite well into it as well, though. Talia is a little bit shorter range, but I think it looks pretty good here.
Very strong at the moment, though.
Yeah, for sure. She's one of the best mid laners in the game. God, this Ezreal damage early is infuriating. I do not like this champion.
That's even without Sheen as well.
Yeah.
Just Storm's Blade, destroying our keys.
just the amount of damage even just his autos do. And as we've seen so many times in this series, Hikes, first strike immediately after spawn. Gardevoir is on the bot side of the map. I don't quite think he has the HP to look for this, but you can see. Keeping an eye on his bot lane here. Might be a little bit worried if the two-man invade onto the Gromp, but... First Dragon. Over to Harvey's Angels.
I think Drake as well. Probably the best first straight you can get.
Yeah, for sure. Really, really helps with the lane sustain.
There's a bit of damage coming up in Juno onto Eclipse.
Yeah, as you expect anyone is having a
Ooh.
rough time into the Talia early. Or having a rough time to Jenna early in all games.
Yeah.
Could be forced to base here. Still doesn't have that TP available. Won't be too much of an issue for him. Only miss out on a couple of minions.
Well, so Veigar picked after Talia or before Talia?
Before. I think Veigar was...
Oh.
I'm pretty sure they picked Veigar second in almost every game. Gardevoir is here. Looking for something. Does get caught out by those stones. His mid laner is nowhere to be seen. He's on his own here. And he's just going to fall. The first blood's going to go over to Junna. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication from the Harmonix mid jungle. Eclipse isn't finished yet. Gets knocked into the tower. Does have to flash over the wall, but Junna predicting what was coming and making his own escape. Hikes is here. They're not finished with this Veigar just yet. Knockup does land onto Vin's. Becca takes a lot of damage for that invade.
Big damage onto that Becca.
Yeah,
Cool
this Zyra is really, really oppressive in the early stages of the game. And same deal as last game. Harvey's Angels finding these grubs and the dragon. 1k gold lead as well. Spring into a nice early lead.
A lot of CSCs going on as well between bot and jungle.
Yeah, on jungle especially, yeah.
Not sure what the Silas was thinking about buying a Darksteel though.
I mean, Darksteel, it's efficient on 0 gold, so it's completely fine to have even if you're not stacking it. But yeah, if the game goes badly, obviously you can sell it later, but it's fine for now. Like once he gets the Lich Bane is when he'll really start becoming a problem. But I think this Talia gonna start being unlocked now, being able to get around the map quickly. Hikes looking to maybe try and find something over the wall with that E. And see the pings on the map, he's ready for it. Obviously, in typical Harvey's Angels fashion, basically spends most of the series trying to get his mid laner ahead.
Can you blame him though?
No, of course not. No, it makes perfect sense. Time to using that E aggressively. Katani taking so much damage. The slow from Zyra is so oppressive. Becker's going to flash in and the Kaisa ult's going to come in as well. Granny Spanner is still not level 6. It's a huge advantage for the HMX bot lane. Flash forward for the kill. This kill's going to go to mid lane as well. The Skarner ult stolen by Silas, but it's just going to take him straight to his death. Another 2v2 in the mid lane lost. It's 2 kills for Skarner. Harvey's Angels taking a big advantage in the top side of the map as a result of that bot side incident. But I don't know if you saw Gwen Skatani flashing forward to try and secure that kill, but it went over to Bekla in the end. But yeah, this jungle situation going to start becoming more and more of a problem.
I think Skarn's gone even more OP since the buffs they did.
Yeah, I think.
Well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
much.
he was. He's. I remember checking the other day. He's sitting at like a 58% win rate or something absolutely ridiculous like that.
Just strong boy.
Yeah, it was actually it was Harmonix, or it was Harvey's Angels, sorry, that was banning it in both of the first 2 games. But when they chose blue side in the 3rd game, they just B1'd it immediately.
Don't blame him.
Yeah, it seems to be working its part here anyway. A lot of gold going into their pockets now. Gold lead accelerating to about 2k, which for 10 minutes is a lot.
And Jung's about to spawn as well.
Gardevoir is here for this bot lane fight. Junna doesn't have that wall available to be able to help his bot lane out. And only a flash available for Granny Spanner as well. Davis trying to pull Riftmark out of his tower, going to respond with a Call of the Forge God of his own. I don't think he's able to take this 1v1. I stand corrected. Ornn damage is completely fine. And all over the map, it's either neutral or winning in Harvey's Angel's favor. But even last game, we've seen them come back from situations like this. Time Gear. Tanking an extra tower shot. That's still an Ezreal. It's going to come down. Bekla running straight into that Zyra route. Time Gear might have to back away from this fight. Harvey's Angels starting up the second dragon of the game, and 2 dragons and a 2k gold lead at 10 minutes is really, really bleak for Harmonix.
And we are going to see a Hatch-Tech Drake come for the next 2. Well,
Eclipse has to flash away from this Hikes engage on the Skarner. Gardevoir is here if he needs it. The Talia wall is going to come out, and this is a very, very dead Veigar. Junna now, 2 kills and 2 assists for both him and his jungler. And the mid jungle situation is looking very rough. Time Gear trying to use that E aggressively for no reason, trying to get a little bit of extra damage onto Kai'Sa. Basically just runs it down, returning a kill to Kai'Sa, and you know, Harmonix, excuse me, have a win con to play for now, but that Skarner damage is absolutely absurd. Gardevoir, for the 3rd time in 12 minutes, is sent back to the graveyard. The Skarner pick is it's being worth the B1. That damage is absolutely obscene. He doesn't have a single damage item. Oh no. Just the 46 stack Heartsteel. Actually just one-shotting Silas.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good for HMX.
My god. It's really not.
The stun is so hard to avoid. I feel like the turning radius is way too big. It's so difficult to do anything about it.
It's like Silent Bomb Crack.
Yeah. It's so funny to watch though. The champion is it's I don't know why. I find it so funny to look at the way he plays the game. But oh my god, this doesn't look good.
I think HMX's win con is just playing through bot lane now. They need to just kind of sack mid off that Eclipse scale on that Veigar.
Harry's Angels looking for something in jungle here. Hikes has located Gardevoir. He completely dodges the stun, but the ult misses as well.
The great escape.
Something that's actually a bit like I don't know why Skarner and Silas are at the same level, given the 17 CS lead and 3 KP, 2 of them being kills.
XP catch up on it. Sort of thing.
That's jungle moment.
No, I think that HMX is just gonna have to play for this bot lane now.
Yeah, for
Put
sure.
all your eggs in that Kai'Sa basket.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The Silas is gonna have a really hard time getting back into this game though. The Call of the Forge God is gonna come out from Silas. Junna having to flash away from that, probably just for the damage. That damage from the Skarner is so insane! And he managed to catch him off the wall. Don't think it's going to quite be enough to find anything. Gwen Skatani found himself in a lot of trouble in the bot lane. Trying to commit to something. Doesn't manage to get the flash away. And the Ezreal ulti not going to catch him out in the end. Very, very well played from Scott. The Seraphs as well. Finish on the Talia. Skarner is here again in mid lane. However, another fight going on in bot lane. I don't know what's going on. Eclipse managing to play away from another gank. They're going to get this mid tower down, but might be overplaying a little bit. Skarner.
Oh no.
Another kill going into Junna's pocket. And it's just...
the heart still as well.
Eclipse is not having a good time this game.
Red team's turret
Oh, there's another turret down.
Something I'm really glad is gone though is the old Skarner passive, because that is just such a ridiculous mechanic to exist in League. It's so weird.
Yeah, but it was funny to be doing at level 1 though, trying to get that
level 1. Yeah, no, I know what you mean, but God, that's such a it's such a weird like design. It's so strange.
Wasn't that the second iteration of Skarner as well?
I don't know. I started playing when Akshan got released, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I fear my friends in another server might have located my stream. Might have located the UNL stream, excuse me.
I dare. Oh, shout at them, I guess. All we need now is all the GGL boys to show up and have a real party.
True. Hikes looking straight towards the spot lane. That ability is so ridiculous. Gwen Skotani might not be able to get away. The flash charm is not enough, and Junna catches him out on the jump as well. Junna having an amazing game, as we've seen so many times throughout this series. And this looks bad. Oh, the
no.
manages to blink away from it, but Time Gear, I don't think
Time goes
he's
out.
going to get caught here. Yeah, he's going to be completely fine. Hikes.
Oh, okay, so
Hikes is somehow managing to miss every Skarner ulti he throws.
So just as I said, I'll be a real part was GGL boy sharp. Callum just messaged me. Mercutio.
I see. Big. We love Mercutio and UNL. Big fight coming out here from HMX, trying so hard to get onto this backline. Junna catching out Kaisa on the side.
Not bad, you know.
Really close 1v1 going on here on the back. Junna is still alive somehow. 2 kills for him. Finally gets taken down in the end. But the fight is not over yet. Granny Spanner looking towards the cliffs. And the chains do connect, but he's just going to fall immediately. Davis in the all-out Cassante form. Looking for something, looking for anything. But it's just gone from bad to worse. And even worse for HMX. 12-4, 6k gold lead. Eclipse only going to add more. Every objective on the map gone over to Harvey's Angels. It's just not. There's no way back into it now, is it?
There's really not. I mean, it's looking kind of rough. All they've got really is scaling. But I do think that HA scale just as hard, especially with the ornaments as well.
Yeah.
Like the ornaments level 12, say 5 more minutes, your ornaments will start coming online.
Yeah.
Scary.
I fear it might be over. And remember, this is an elimination match. This is a lower bracket game, which means the loser of this game is gone. Might be time we're saying goodbye to our friends at HMX, who over the course of the season looked really, really promising, but just as soon as they got into play, I think they. Eclipse gets caught out again. It was a nightmare series for him. Coming in last minute as a sub for February 14th. Collective 0-9 between the mid jungles. The mid jungle of HMX. And 10-1 for Harvey's Angels mid jungle.
Can't forget about those assists though. Those assists are important.
True.
Just spoken like a true support player.
You know, maybe with this Cassante, maybe with the Kaisa, I feel like we've seen teams win from worse positions, but I'm struggling. I'm doing my best, but it's not easy.
All it takes is a couple of shutdowns to go down onto the Kaisa.
Yeah.
Could be a whole different game.
I mean, I wonder, will this Skarner pick become more popular over the course of playoffs? I think, if I remember correctly, I don't actually think HMX have won in playoffs yet. I think As they've won games, but I don't think they've won a series in playoffs yet.
Yeah, they beat us in playoffs in like the first round.
Oh, did they? Okay, never mind
Yeah.
then. Yeah, okay, so they beat you, and then they lost to FMB, and now they're in this game, and it's 1-1. It doesn't look very good for game
So
two. I see.
we lost to them, then beat Ben, and then we lost to HA.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Setting their sights on this Baron immediately on spawn. 21 minutes into the game, Baron, 3 dragons, 6 grubs, 3 towers. Red team, HMX, absolutely nothing. And they're not finished yet. Junna diving straight into the backline of this team. Does have that Sarah shield still available. Has to flash away. Davis creating so much space for his team on the backside of this fight. Junna's going to fall. This might be a big fight for HMX. Going to have to get away with his last bit. Gardevoir going straight back in. Riftmark taking absolutely 0 damage. Davis finding his way back into this fight. Riftmark taking so much damage. He's going to fall. Potentially not quite. The Kaiser's going to ult him. The Killer Instinct not quite enough to finish him off. So much insane Skarner damage, and Beckle's going to fall too. Skarner is going absolutely insane in this fight. It's so close. Only a 2-for-1 now, and they're both going to back off from each other.
But if I was HMX, I'd be taking that.
I will. Yeah, it's better than everything else you've had this game. The Killer Instinct was really unlucky to not like the dive in, not quite enough to finish off this Ornn. Would have been nice to get another 400 gold into the Kaisa basket, but the Skarner is the one that's really proving to be a problem. And it's not who you'd expect either when you look at this Harvey's Angels roster. Typically the carries on this team are the mid and ADC, but Hikes. And it's not the first time either that Hikes has put on a clinic this season. Now this is a must-win fight for HMX from such a bleak position. Skarner ulti has been taken. Granny Span is going to have to flash out of that cage. This is going to be an actual 5v5. Ezreal only catches one person out. Junna is here. Hikes is here. He's walking straight forward without a care in the world. The cage is going to catch out 2 people, but it's not the people that you want to catch. Dragon is started. They're going to have to make a play on this at some point or another. Davis trying to create as much space as he can for his team. Hikes is just going to go straight in. He's going to catch away the Silas. Both junglers on the complete opposite side of this fight. Eclipse manages to take down Time Gear. It's just Junna left in terms of carries. Granny Spanner trying his best to save his mid laner here. Riftmark forced out of the pit. Skarner ult still available for Silas. Hikes is full HP and he's going in. Eclipse has to flash over the wall to avoid that Ornn stun. Gardevoir's going to go straight back in. The Skarner ulti's going to come out, but he's just going to fall immediately. Junna doing so much damage, and HMX are falling to pieces.
That must be game. I don't think there's much coming back after that one.
3 kills. The Soul. Davis trying anything he can to get something out of this game for his team, but it's just so bad. The Killer Instinct on the bottom side of this fight. Junna's going to fall. It might not be over just yet. The train is going to come out. It's going to catch her. It's Gwen Skatani. Davis sitting on the front of this fight. Skarner doing so much damage. Another stun. He's going to fall to the Zyra damage in the end. Set his sights onto this dragon. The Soul going to be picked up for Harvey's Angels. And I think if it wasn't over before...
It's over now.
Rakan trying to get anything out of this game that he can. Gwen Skatani is the next victim. Skarner is just one-shotting the enemy team. It's absolutely insane, this champion. Oh my god.
I would not be surprised if we don't see that champion again.
Gwen Skatani venting his frustration at the champion in League Chat. Hikes raises the flag in solidarity with him. And you can now probably see why Skarner has not made it through a champion select yet this series. That is insane. And here he comes again. That's so much damage. Look at him. He's just one-shotting. His full tank. Doing that damage to Davis. Full tank just taking away it. Like 15% of a Cassandra's HP in an auto attack. So funny. This Q ability is so overtuned. And while Hikes may be the superstar, I think Granny Spanner having a very, very good game himself. I don't know if I actually... Something I only just realized. Have you seen the size of like the Ornn ult when you look at it on the minimap? It's massive. It's like the size of a lane. I don't know why that is.
You reckon it's just down to the skin?
I'm not sure. I don't think it would change the map thing necessarily. But have a look at it the next time he calls it. Davis is caught out in bot lane here. The Leandries on the Talia do so much damage. Has to burn the ghost to get away from it. And you do wonder how the mental is feeling if you're anyone on HMX. What the call sounds like at the moment. Yeah. I don't know what you were like when we were losing games this season. The calls went very, very quiet. But
we're always shouting we're a second half team every single time.
Okay,
second half team.
We love to see it.
Even when we lost to HA in the second game, we're like second half team.
Yep. Maybe. God, that dragon or that Baron animation is so ridiculous. I mean, they probably just have to throw a Hail Mary, right? The 1% chance that it works.
I have to just flip it. If there's a chance it's gonna work. That
ability is just so stupid.
Ornn is still bot side. He's making his way there now.
This Skarner is just so tanky. A little bit of noodle slapping going on the bot side of the map here. Skarner is here. There's so much damage! Look at the damage that Skarner is doing! This champion is ridiculous! And here comes the Ornn ulti. Not going to quite catch out Clips, but who cares what the Ornn is doing? This is Skarner's show! Oh no. I did not know what the champion was capable of. He's just he's literally I know he's 3 levels. I know he's 2 levels ahead, sorry, but he's full tank. He's taking away half of Silas's HP with the E. It's so incredible.
It's that 448 stacks on our heart still.
Literally not building a single damage on him. And it's not even the Heartsteel procs either. Like he was half HP by the time he even got the Heartsteel proc off. Davis next on the chopping block for Skarner. Trying anything he can to pull him into his tower, but he's just not taking any damage. It's so ridiculous.
Fun and balanced champion. Lamau.
Gardevoir is here. Hikes isn't finished yet. The Talia wall's going to come in. Davis doesn't have the all-out form. Can't get away from it. Skarner is just running the show. Davis, his next victim, setting his sights on this inhibitor tower.
That was a crime. Like, just should
and here he comes again. Unfortunately, not quite unstoppable. That E misses another Skarner ult. I think that's the 10th one in a row.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't even matter.
Doesn't even matter. Too short.
Harvey's Angels gonna go for the kill here. Oh, you do feel bad though for HMX with such a lacking roster because of unavailability. Choosing instead of forcing a delay to just play it out, and it's not working in their favor. Ornell's going to come in. Timegear has to flash over the wall to get away from it. Gardevoir is going to fall. Skarner is just tanking everything and taking no damage at all. The Call of the Forge God is going to come in, and that's going to spell an end to Harmonix season in spectacular fashion. Davis, the last one standing, and that is going to be the official end of Harmonix season. Such high expectations, maybe not quite met as highly as they would have liked, but Harvey's Angels on the other hand progress to the next round of the losers bracket.